Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday, back for this Friday's slate. We got a massive slate today. Ton of good teams to stack, so there's a lot of different ways you can go. Let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below before we get started. Pitching today, we have quite a bit of good options at the top with a bunch of guys above 10,000. None are in particularly tremendous spots. Bieber is fine. 11.8's not a easy price tag to pay when we do have all these great offenses on the slate. And then I like Nola facing the Mets, but he's not cheap either at 11.3. I believe is the highest price tag for him all season. And then Lamet is, I don't want to pay 10.7 for him. He just doesn't go deep into games enough. Bauer is so up and down. Baumgartner is above 10K. Not a ton of value at that price. So I'm looking a little cheaper here. I'm not going to be paying up for anybody above 10,000. I'm not in love with the value that we get. I like Marco Gonzales here at 8,400. We've seen a lot of pitchers just have a lot of success against the Rangers lineup as of late, especially lefties In particular, left-handed pitchers have gone against the Rangers and just coasted through that lineup. They are really bad against lefties, mainly because their best hitters are lefties. Gonzales has had a lot of success against the Rangers in his career. This season has not been any different, and he's been pitching a lot better as of late with a bunch of 20-point games, a couple 30-point games, one 30-point game. But he's just been consistent, especially in a matchup like this. He goes pretty deep. You'll see a lot of 6-7 innings games out of him. So he's efficient, and the strikeouts have been there as of late. Not a big-time strikeout pitcher, but definitely can get you 5 to 8 strikeouts in this kind of spot. And then second pitcher for me is definitely going to be Max Fried at just 7,500. Love the price tag on him facing the White Sox of all teams. His price tag has gone down over his last couple starts. The matchup is as good as it gets after facing the Dodgers, the Mets, the Twins, a matchup where he coasted, put up 32 against the Twins, put up 23 against the Reds before that. So he's been really good this season. He's a good strikeout pitcher, averaging a little over a strikeout per inning this season. He doesn't give up a ton of power, and he does have some good stuff. So I like him. He goes 90 pitches, 90 to 95 when he's pitching well. Can get you 100 too. So at that price tag, definitely feel like he can put up a big return on that salary. So Gonzales and Fried are my pitchers today. Two lefties in pretty good spots. At third base, this price tag is too cheap. Abraham Toro here, 2,400. He's definitely going to get playing time with Carlos Correa on the IL. He's been starting a lot of the games as of late, and he's been productive. Does have a lot of power. Finally went yard yesterday. Played him on the early slate, which was nice, especially on FanDuel where we had Toro, Cave, and Profar. But Toro was cheap there. He's cheap again, and the matchup is fine. The Astros have another high total today, so you got to like him. Even though he hit bats near the bottom of the order, he still gets RBI opportunities. Still going to get his 4 or 5 at-bats just because the Astros lineup is that good. In AAA, he had 16 home runs in just 98 games. He hits for average, doesn't strike out much, as you see. In AA, he only had 5 strikeouts, more walks in 15 games. So that was just 15 games, but he doesn't strike out a ton. And the matchup is pretty good here against Trent Thorne. He does have a lot of upside and prospect pedigree, so 2,400 is too cheap. That price tag seems like a cash game lock. Next up at shortstop, I like the Twins a lot today too. I like Jorge Polanco at 4,800. So Polanco's been good all season. He's kind of slowed down a little bit as of late, but I feel like the spot is really good here against Edwin Jackson. The Twins lineup is super scary, and they probably should be getting Kepler and Sano back in there, so that makes the lineup even tougher. Polanco on the season has been great against righties, hitting a lot of power against them. On the season, he has a 3.08 average against righties with 14 of his 19 home runs. He's also been much better on the road, and this game is On the road here. On the road, he's batting .318 compared to .270 in Target Field with a .220 ISO against righties and 40% hard hit rate, 46% fly ball rate. I like him a lot here at 4,800. In the outfield, you can't ignore Coors on the slate. Charlie Blackmon's in a great spot. 5,700, big price tag, but I'm okay with paying that when he's facing Agrizal, who has been really bad against lefties. Dario Agrizal on the season is getting hit pretty hard against lefties, especially the advanced numbers. It's a 446 slugging. The average is low here. But if you look at the advanced numbers, he has a 6.71 xFIP. He's also been bad to righties too, so stack away at the Rockies. I feel like he's going to get hit really hard. He doesn't strike people out. He gives up power. And the Rockies do hit the ball well in Coors, so even though they're not playing for much, Charlie Blackmon is still in a really good spot batting leadoff, facing a low strikeout pitcher that just doesn't really have anything to have, doesn't have the stuff to have success here in the matchup in Coors. He should give up a few runs at least, and I think Blackmon is going to play a big part in that. Batting .400 at home with 19 of his 27 home runs. I mean, Blackmon's numbers at home in Coors this season are absolutely off the charts. And then last but not least, speaking of the Twins, Nelson Cruz here. It's been a while since Nelson Cruz has gone yard, and by a while for him means like 7-8 games. It's been been about 8 games since he's went yard. Had a couple hits yesterday. Probably feeling good. He's owned this White Sox pitching in the past this season. So, facing Edwin Jackson is a great spot for him to go deep and go deep maybe twice. I think it's a good spot. There's a lot of top-end outfielders on the slate, so he might not get a ton of love. But we all know Nelson Cruz has as much upside as any other player on the slate. 5,400, price tag went down a little bit, but the talent is still there. He has a ton of power against righties and lefties, so I don't mind him, especially when Edwin Jackson is pitching on the other side, and Jackson on the season is still giving up a lot of power. Even though he's been okay as of late, he's not getting absolutely destroyed, but he's still not been good. On the year, he has a 750 slugging given up to righties with a 379 average. Nelson Cruz is a righty. He should mash here. He has just strikeout. His strikeout rate is decent against righties, only 18%. It's not decent, but it's higher than it is against lefties. But he's given up a ton of hard hits, 45%, 47% to lefties. And the Twins have the best offense, one of the best offenses on the slate. There's a lot of good offenses going in great spots. So, you can pick and choose, or you can try to mix and match which teams you want to stack. So the other offenses going that you probably want to have some shares of are going to be the Coors games. Both Rockies and Pirates are in great spots. You have the A's and Yankees are both in good spots. I love the Astros. The Nationals might be popular, but I kind of not that interested in them against Hernandez. Just because we have a bunch of other teams on the slate, and if they draw some ownership, then I'll gladly play the Astros, Twins, Rockies, Pirates, Red Sox, A's, Yankees. The list goes on and on. A lot of good teams to stack. You really should be narrowing your player pool on a slate like this, I believe. So yeah, that's kind of it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like if you did, and good luck today.